Two hardened New York City narcotics cops are hot on the trail of a massive shipment of heroin being brought into their city by some French nationals. Can they make the connection and stop the drugs from polluting their city? It's up to Jimmy Popeye Doyle and Buddy Cloudy Russo to take down the bad guys using any means necessary in this Oscar-winning 70s classic directed by Exorcist director William Friedkin, 1971's The French Connection. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
And I'm Austin Johnson.
And you're listening to Filmgazm. Happy Friday, listeners. Hope you enjoyed our Exorcist episode this past Wednesday. Today we're diving into the film that won William Friedkin an Oscar for Best Director. The French Connection is loosely based on a real-life case headed up by real-life narcotics cops Eddie Egan and Sonny Grosso, the inspiration for Popeye Doyle and Cloudy Russo. In real life, in the 60s and 70s, most of the heroin imported into the east coast of the U.S. came from France. The film is based on the nonfiction book of the same name by Robin Moore that tells the story of this big bust. The film had one sequel, 1975's French Connection 2, which sees Gene Hackman returning as Popeye Doyle, who travels to Marseille to finally catch Elaine Charnet, the drug smuggler who got away. IMDb score 6.8, Rotten Tomatoes score 78%, so still a favorable sequel.
Yes.
Rare for something like that.
Just not as, obviously not as strong as...
No.
Yeah. It's not easy to do, yeah.
Our two main stars are Oscar winner Gene Hackman and Oscar nominee Roy Scheider.
Woo!
Hackman has won 2 Oscars in his career, one for The French Connection and another for 1992's Unforgiven. He's been nominated an additional 3 times for his performances in 1967's Bonnie and Clyde, 1970's I Never Sang for My Father, and 1988's Mississippi Burning. Some of his other films include Superman, The Quick and the Dead, The Royal Tenenbaums, The Poseidon Adventure, and Hoosiers. Hackman retired from acting in 2004, and he hasn't been seen in the public eye since. He could be dead for all we know. Honestly, he just vanished.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Indeed he did.
What would you say? Is this your favorite Gene Hackman role?
Oof. I love the conversation, man. But no, I would say Royal Tenenbaum is my favorite role of his. This character, Popeye, I think is a good starting point to talk about the French Connection.
Okay.
Is terrible. Popeye sucks.
He's a terrible person.
Popeye is racist. Popeye is fucking trigger happy, obviously. He's, to me, terrible. Irredeemable, no redeemable qualities. Not a cool guy.
No.
But a fascinating character to watch, especially when he's chasing French guys in downtown New York City on subways. Holy shit. And Gene Hackman is, this Bonnie and Clyde, and The Conversation is an unbelievable, 7-year stint. And then, the longevity. He's nominated in the 80s and the 90s, and then Royal Tenenbaums in 2001, and then, like you said, he just vanishes. I love his career. I think it's fascinating as hell. You would think that I'd love Hoosiers because it's a basketball movie. I think that movie is utter garbage. On a pile of shit that he really just, I wish he wasn't a part of. That movie is terrible.
Damn.
Not only is his character racist, the movie is racist. Terrible. Hoosiers is trash. I see it too many times on lists for best sports movies or best basketball movies, and I'm like, no. Fuck no. They're wrong. Hoosiers is bad. Don't watch it. 0 out of 10 recommendation. But yeah, Gene, this and The Conversation, would be my top 2. The Conversation, I like his character more. His character's losing his mind, and The French Connection, we see that a little bit too, where he's just, I gotta get these guys, Yeah. Even if it's, I love when he's like, what time is it? And Cloudy's like, 10 after 4. They've been there for 4 hours just, on the stakeout watching these guys. His dedication, his commitment. He's kind of annoying, but you can't stop watching him, and I think that's why a sequel was made, because that character is so damn appealing, even if he sucks. Even if he is he's racist at the beginning of the movie. We see him in the Santa outfit, and he chases that black guy down, and he's just racist towards him. He treats him like dog shit. There's people in a bar, black people in a bar that he treats like dog shit. There's Towards the end of the film, he treats those guys who are actually not doing the drug bust. You know what I'm talking about? They're just doing shit with cars, and he calls them a fucking derogatory term. He keeps doing that over and over, and you're like, oh yeah, it's the 70s, and he's a cop in New York City. Oh yeah, not a cool place, not a cool time. New York City, as always, obviously, there's just so many damn people, so many different cultures. The cops are going to be shitty,
Yeah.
That's how
Especially
it is.
at the time when, in the 70s, New York City was a dangerous fucking place.
Yeah, exactly. So you got cops like Popeye and Cloudy who are, there's no shit style cops. They're like, I'm going to do it my way, or, my way or the highway, bitch. They're relentless.
Yeah.
They're so much fun to watch, man. Roy Scheider, geez Louise, dude. Another guy who just didn't get his, his 70s run obviously is great. You have Jaws in 75 and all that jazz, but he just kind of, didn't totally get his due, in my opinion, and I don't know what happened to his career. It's really weird.
I honestly think Jaws is what happened to his career.
I guess, but then all that jazz comes out 4 years after that. I don't know, and he's amazing in that. It is a really weird movie, and I guess it doesn't have like a huge audience, but yeah, I guess Jaws, and then, I don't know, man. It's weird. Fascinating, but these two, they're so good together.
They are.
Gene and Roy is a
You
match.
get saving partners for years.
Yeah, it's a match made in heaven. Yeah, and you got so many times where Cloudy's like, "Calm down, Papa." That's great. Love Cloudy.
So Roy Scheider was nominated for 2 Oscars, one for The French Connection and another for 1979's All That Jazz.
Yeah.
He's also appeared in Blue Thunder, Marathon Man, The Rainmaker, The Punisher, and of course, iconic horror flick and past Filmgazm topic, Jaws.
Yeah.
He died in 2008 at age 75 from multiple myeloma. And I recently did watch Marathon Man.
Dude.
He's fucking great in that too.
Marathon Man's awesome. Yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, yeah, his 70s decade is,
Oh my God.
it's like right up there with like Jack and Gene. It's like with those guys. It's like, what the hell? He's right. He's in all those. He's the guy in Jaws. He's carrying Jaws. What the hell?
I don't know if I would say he's carrying Jaws. Not with Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss.
Technically, he is though, because he has more screen time.
He does, but I think that's a 3-person game. Right
I
there.
like Shaw and better. Like I like their performances better, but he's there though from the beginning of the film till the end. You're on that ride with
He's
with
our
Scheider.
hero, yes, but that movie does not exist without Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw.
Nor does it exist without Roy Scheider.
True. I'm not arguing he is definitely important to that movie, but so are Dreyfuss and Shaw.
Agreed. He lives though. He lives.
Well, so does Dreyfuss.
Shaw does not. No, he's the lead.
Yes.
He carries possibly the greatest film of all time. That's just
Damn.
we talked about that when we did Jaws.
We did.
Can anyone argue with me if I say Jaws is the best movie? Can I argue with anyone else if they say Jaws is the best movie? No.
It's
I
in
can't.
the running. It's definitely in the running.
It's one of those if you say it, it's like, yeah, I mean, I can't deny you. I also can't prove it to you because there's no way to do that. Jaws is perfect.
It is perfect.
Perfection. And Roy Scheider happens to be the lead role in it. Probably could have been someone else. It probably could be interchangeable, whereas Shaw, not interchangeable. Dreyfuss, not interchangeable. I agree with you on that. They're probably more valuable to that particular character.
Yeah.
But again, Scheider's the lead. It's crazy. It's just wild to think about that. Yeah, his career just fizzled out, and he was that guy.
I wonder why. I wonder if we did some research.
We will. I think
could find
I've
out.
always wanted to read more about him. Yeah, and find out exactly what happened.
I don't know. Maybe he burned some bridges or something.
Maybe he got sick of it, or maybe who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, that's a long decade.
I don't think he got sick of it because he still kept acting.
Yeah, true. Yeah. He stayed in the
He was
industry.
just
Just
never
wasn't
as big as he could have been.
no, and not as good of roles. Yeah, yeah.
Strange. The French Connection has an IMDb score of 7.7, Rotten Tomatoes score of 98%. It was a big success, grossing $78 million on a budget of $1.8 million. It won 5 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Actor for Gene Hackman, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Film Editing. It was nominated for 3 more: Best Supporting Actor for Roy Scheider, Best Cinematography, and Best Sound Mixing. And without further ado, let's get into the plot of this mofo.
Jeez Louise, man. What a performance at that Oscars.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we start off in the beautiful city of Marseille, France. Have you ever been to France?
No, I've not.
You've got to go, man.
Regrettably.
Yeah. I know you've gotten to travel to Europe.
I've traveled to the UK. I haven't traveled.
You haven't been anywhere else?
Not yet.
Yeah. Oh, man.
My family grew up in Germany.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they left before I was born, so I never got to see Germany.
You got to go, yeah.
I want to.
Yeah.
I very much want to visit mainland Europe.
I've been to Munich and Berlin in Germany, and both of them were, like, fantastic. Like, wonderful places to visit.
I bet.
Anyway, yeah, so we're in France here, Marseille. Undercover police. Detective follows Alain Charnier, who runs the world's largest heroin smuggling syndicate.
He's so smug about it, too.
I know.
Just the wave on the subway.
The cane, too. Oh, you bastard.
Motherfucker. The, Laurel and Hardy sketch that they have going on in the subway when he keeps getting on and off.
So good.
My favorite part, without a doubt.
I think so. I think me, too. It's the most rewatchable where you're like, God, this is so good. It's just juicy, you know?
Jesus.
It's got everything you need. The policeman is assassinated by Charnier's hitman, Pierre Nicoli. Frightening character. Haircut, outfit, accent. Oh, you know, you can tell this guy takes no shit, you know? Yeah, man. And that's a great scene when him and Popeye are playing cat and mouse. That's also fun as shit, too. This movie doesn't stop.
No.
It's great. So Charnier has huge plans to smuggle $32 million worth of heroin. This is
into New York.
This is in 1969. The book was in 1969. The film here in 1971. Come on. $32 million is massive deal. Today.
This was back when $32 million was a lot of money.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Not just something you talked about for a budget for like Ford versus Ferrari, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God damn. And he wants to smuggle this into the United States, of course. And he wants to hide it into a car of an unsuspecting friend, television personality, hilarious performance. What's that guy's name? He plays Henry Devereaux. He's like a TV personality, this celebrity, and he's traveling to New York City by ship already. I can't remember the actor's name, but he gives a really funny performance. He's not on the screen a lot.
Frederic de Pascal.
Yeah, he's great, man. He adds this kind of flair to each scene where he's like so clueless. Where everybody else is in this game, you know, this like just straight up these monster like mobster drug dealers, and these two cops are like, we're doing this. And then you like throw him in the ring. It's just funny.
I love the way they hide it in the car.
Yeah.
That's the most brilliant. I honestly was like, fuck, they're not going to find anything.
I know.
They're going to get in trouble here, but then they find it in like the lining. Brilliant.
Genius.
How much? I didn't know you could shove that much heroin into the side of a car.
I love that. I love how Cloudy's like, how much did the car weigh? All of that is just, oh man.
That's believable.
Come on, Irv. So good. So back in New York City, detectives Jimmy Popeye Doyle, that's Gene Hackman, and Buddy Cloudy Russo, there's Roy Scheider. They go out for drinks at a Coco Cabana. Popeye notices our boy Sal Boca, also a great performance, and his young wife Angie. And they're at this restaurant having drinks, entertaining mobsters, who Popeye immediately is like, oh boy, like I see. He like lights up because he's like, yes, you know, I have like a purpose. I see some dirt over there, you know, and you know, you immediately get the sense that Cloudy's like, I thought we came here to get a drink, you know, and like, what are we doing here? I thought we were just hanging out. Popeye is always a cop.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how to turn it off.
Yep,
Cloudy does. From what we can see, for the most part, but Popeye is like always clocked in, always ready to go find the bad guys.
Is that before or after the scene with the Santa suit?
That's right after. Okay. Yeah. So the beginning of the film, opens up. Doesn't quite say it right here.
Yeah.
Opens up with like the first time we see Popeye is him literally in a Santa suit, full Santa suit, chasing somebody down the street in the middle of New York City, and it is epic. And there's some shots there where the camera's boom. Moving out wide shots, and you can see New York. And you just don't see stuff like that today. I'm still blown away by the work here. You know, I think Friedkin has an eye. You know, there's a reason we just talked about The Exorcist. The reason like that's stood so long as a horror movie is because of the direction of it, I think.
Yeah.
Same with French Connection. You may not love like certain aspects of it. I think the ending is something that a lot of people talk about, obviously. Yeah. But the direction and the way it's just cut and designed and edited is so stellar. Looks so pretty. And that scene of him running, it's like, God, I'm in. I don't care how long this movie is. I'm in. I'm ready to watch whatever this fucker's up to. So cool. How did you feel? Because this is your first time seeing it.
Yeah. I was immediately in the action. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy means business. And then he caught the guy, and he's like, oh, he's also a fucking asshole.
Yes, he's a racist. Obviously.
Extremely,
Yes.
like, he's a New York cop, without a
like
doubt.
beating this guy up. Yeah.
NYPD,
Yeah.
right there.
Yes.
And he asked him that question, you pick your feet in Poughkeepsie. And I was the whole movie, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And I looked into it, and it's a question to throw the perp off.
Yes.
Because the question's so weird that they're going to be so freaked out and uncomfortable that they're
Exactly.
going to answer the other cop's rational question.
Yes.
That's fucking brilliant.
Oh, Popeye and Cloudy, they know, like you said it. They've obviously been partners for a long
Yeah.
time. They know what they're fucking doing.
Oh yeah, they're a team.
And you
They're a unit.
you said it best. You're in the action immediately. You're like, you're in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Even if they're not cool dudes, they're not cool cops. You're in.
There's very little setup to this movie. It's like the
No.
movie's already been going and you're just dropped into it.
Yeah, and there is no. This movie doesn't really have like. Here's what's going on with Popeye.
It doesn't hit the beats that you usually get from.
No.
You get the occasional look into Popeye's personal life. And
Yeah.
you kind of don't want to know more.
No, exactly. Yeah, they just,
Like he doesn't have one basically. This is his
he's always a
personal life.
cop. Yeah, he's a cop. Oh man, it's great. So, as I was saying, Boca. Here's this guy that they recognize, a local guy who's entertaining mobsters at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It sparks their attention. It gets their attention. So they tail the couple, Sal and his wife, and establish a link between the Bocas and a lawyer named Joe Weinstock, shady ass character, who's a part of the narcotics underworld.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah. He's a, lawyer for these fucking crooks, he's probably gonna be a part of it as well, So Popeye learns from an informant that a massive shipment of heroin,
I love that scene.
oh man, will arrive the next 2 weeks.
When he routs the bar,
Dude. Oh,
throws that guy in the back, like, you motherfucker. He's like, so what do you got for me?
yeah.
I was like, yeah, all right.
Because you're like, man, this guy's really racist. And then you're like, okay, he's racist, but like, all right.
He's got his guy.
That's a great scene.
To be fair, most of those guys were holding.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah.
I mean, he's still doing his job.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing it in the best way.
And again, it's like man, it is so hard to put yourself in the shoes of a cop in the 70s of New York City.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, everybody sucks. Like,
Everybody hates
city
you
sucks.
and everybody's breaking the law.
yeah. Whether they're holding something they shouldn't be holding or, throwing something at you or, fucking wild shit going on there, man. Oh, man. So, the two detectives, Popeye and Cloudy, they convince their supervisor to wiretap Boca's phones.
I love that. Because the supervisor's like, look, you've been wrong every other time. Why the fuck should I trust you this time?
You guys are fucking always, in over your heads on this
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. Y'all are both way too aggressive on this shit.
It's like every cop show, the commissioner's going to have my ass in a sling. Like,
I typically would hate these kind of movies, just like buddy cop,
I know.
But it's just so good. It's constructed so well. So they wiretap the phones. Popeye and Cloudy are joined by federal agents Mulderig and Klein. What do you think of these guys?
They're in the way.
Right?
They're a fucking hindrance.
Fuck these guys.
The feds are always in the way in these kind of movies.
Yeah, and they don't know what they're doing.
No.
And they
This is Popeye's case, goddammit.
yeah, when Popeye, gets heated and starts talking about we got, and they tell him to calm down and stuff. Don't tell me to calm down. I'm with Popeye there.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
tell me
my
to calm down.
case.
I know what's going on here. There's $32 million at stake. Come on. Fucking ridiculous. Gene Hackman's really good at abrupt freakouts.
Oh, yeah.
Abrupt,
Because that's what he is.
yes.
That's his personality.
Yes, and he's good at, the conversation has some scenes where he's just exquisite. And then I point to, Royal Tenenbaums. I love that character because he just flips on a dime doing these weird, different, this is like the oldest film I've seen him, I guess, besides Bonnie and Clyde. So, he was such a good actor at this age, at this time. I totally believe that he's just, he is the shitty cop. And Gene Hackman is this. Like you said, this is him. This is him. It's crazy, man.
Not bad for sixth choice for the role.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I'd say it worked out all right.
Oh, yeah.
Man. So remember that celebrity from France that we were talking about that's going to be a part of this whole? Well, he's back. His vehicle arrives in New York City. But Boca is impatient to make the purchase as he he's kind of just a normal guy.
Yeah, as normal as you can be in this world.
Yeah, exactly. And, he starts kind of getting paranoid. I think at one point, Charnier says he's seen policemen in his soup. I love that. he tells Nicole that. Nicole's like, yeah, I don't trust him. Oh, man, so good. We also have a cool scene when Charnier goes and visits Nicole on that island.
Yeah.
And that's when Nicole shares his thoughts about the celebrity. And he's like, I don't trust him, man. I don't think he's up. I don't think he's cut out for it. He was right. You probably should have trusted Nicole on that one. But that's a really cool scene. Beautiful. It's like, oh, really? We're going to go to this set location just for that 5-minute scene? Hats off to you, Friedkin. That's great stuff, man. So, his vehicle arrives in New York City. Like I said, Boca's getting paranoid. He's impatient to make the purchase, reflecting Charnier's desire to return to France as soon as possible, while Weinstock, the lawyer, with more experiences in smuggling, urges him to be patient, which is big. It's big for Boca. He needs that. Because Angie, his wife's not going to give it to him. She's just like, what's going on? Knowing Boca's phone is tapped and that they are being investigated. So, it's kind of becomes we know, they know, we know, they know, everyone, all right. Let's just continue on. Continue on doing our thing. We'll beat them. We'll beat them to the punch. Nicole is very convinced that they can get all these things done within a certain amount of time and that they're leaving on Friday. There's only a few days before they leave to go back to France.
You get the feeling they've done this so many times.
Yes.
That this is nothing special for them.
No.
This is routine. And it's other new people who are fucking this up for them.
Yeah.
And they're trying...
Straight up.
They're expecting this to just work out. Whereas everybody else is realizing, what are we fucking in on here? And I love that.
Oh,
they're so arrogant that they don't even care. Especially Charnier.
Oh, man. Yeah. The way he walks around. Yeah.
He carries himself like he's king shit of fuck mountain. It's amazing. Jesus.
God, man. Love this movie. It's great. So, Charnier, here we go. This is a big, just cinematic moment. Charnier realizes he's being observed by our man Popeye. And he makes Popeye. Popeye says this.
Yeah.
Meaning he makes him out to be a cop, makes him out to be someone who's following him, who's tailing him.
Blew his cover.
And Charnier escapes, but I want to get into the nitty-gritty of this scene. So we have, at one point he goes into a flower shop and disappears out the back door. And Popeye chases him around the back. And then he goes down a subway and back up it. And he's back on the street. And then down a subway again. Now he's by it. Gets on the train, gets off. Gets back on the train, gets off. Stays off, the train leaves.
Yeah.
And then you see at one point Popeye's getting a fucking snow cone.
Yeah.
And he's looking around, looking back at him. And then they play this cat and mouse. And then finally Charnier is on the train. And, Popeye's not. And he's yelling, he's wanted by the police! He's wanted by the police! Throws his hat and his gloves down. Charnier's gone and waves by.
Oh.
And it is just gives me the chills. It is breathtaking.
It's like Sherlock and Moriarty.
The music
right there.
is just doesn't quite swelter ever. It just stays at this weird tempo, kind of making it creepy almost, where you're so focused on these two guys, and there's hundreds of human beings go bah, 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 bah. But you're just watching these two guys. They're just above everybody else, They're heightened, and oh man. It's so convincing. And that smile and wave from him is such a good touch. Because he's I know what you're doing.
It pissed me off so much. Jesus.
I love it, man.
Especially knowing now, he's going to fucking get away with this.
Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, man. So, Charnier starts to stay, ahead of the police. To avoid being tailed, he has Boca meet him in Washington, D.C., where Boca asks for a delay to avoid the police. Again, he's paranoid. He's dealing with more. This is not his first time at the rodeo, like all these other guys. Oh man, can you imagine being in that spot?
Jeez,
you're just working in a restaurant, and all of a sudden,
you're neck deep in a heroin deal.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I hope I'm never in that situation.
God.
I hope I'm not stupid enough to get myself in that situation.
God. So, Charnier wants to conclude this deal very quickly. He wants to get it done. $32 million at stake. Like I said, they want to get out by Friday. And that's where we have Charnier. They're on a flight back to New York City. And Nicole offers to kill Popeye.
Yeah.
he says, "I'll take care of him, man." And Schrinner's like, we don't need to. There's always gonna be another cop. You know, there's always gonna be another good guy trying to be the hero, which is so fascinating in this movie. You have that perspective from the bad guys who are just like, it's just another fucking cop. He's not Popeye. To us, he's Popeye, but to them, who cares about this guy? But little do they know that this guy is relentless. You know, little do they know that Cloudy and him they're coming. They're not going to stop until they find them. So, you know, Nicole insists. He's like, I want to do this. Not only would this be good for us, I want to do it.
I don't see how it would be good for them.
Neither do I. Neither do I. It, to me, is a waste of energy.
Yeah, this is personal.
You could have gotten this done quicker and just gotten out of there, in my opinion. Yeah. Why not leave on Thursday instead of Friday? Is my idea, if you're a good drug dealer.
Nicole wants him dead for personal reasons.
Yes.
He's too good.
And he's like, look, we'll be back in France before they even have a replacement assigned. Before they even get a guy to replace Popeye. Like Cloudy's not here. Get the hell out of here. Roy Scheider, come on now. like Roy Scheider hasn't fucking killed a giant ass shark. Come on.
Respect Roy. God damn it.
Soon after, Nicole attempts to shoot Popeye, but misses. And then, okay, come on. We got Nicole up. This is like out of The Wire or something. It's like we're in like fucking the ghetto high rises and there's these apartments and you get Nicole fucking shooting down at him and then, Popeye's like, oh, here we go. Like, it's almost like he wants this. He's like, he wants someone to throw the punch at him. So he's like, let's play.
Yeah.
Let's play. Like, I want you to shoot at me. He's so crazy. And he starts, fucking lining the wall. And he goes up the stairs, and then he sees him down running, and he's like, let's go. And the chase is on again. Another chase. As if we didn't just have maybe the best chase scene in all of cinematic history. Let's get another one with a guy who has a gun. Who is, his intent is to kill Popeye. So these two now are essentially playing chicken. They want to kill each other. He's been shot at. Popeye's been shot at. Now it's like fucking open season, baby. Like, I can shoot at you now. I hope you know that. I'm fucking Popeye. Oh, man, it's great. So, like I said, Popeye chases Nicole. And we have another train scene where I love this because we have the double take. We have our man Popeye looking out on the platform and he's scanning and there's not a lot of people. Scanning. And then he, does the double take and he sees a body hide behind a post. And he's like, oh, there he is, But then the train passes, and you can't see him, and he's yelling, hey, yelling at Nicole, and Nicole gets on the train and starts moving forward, Starts, like, with intent, has his gun out,
Yeah.
People are freaking out. And where are you at that point? Are you, like, because you don't really have any time to focus on anything else, you're just like, oh, my God, Popeye's got to kill this guy.
Yeah.
I'm
invested. I was waiting for, like, who's the first bystander who's going to bite it here?
Yeah.
Someone's not going to make it out of this. And who's going to... Honestly, I was like, who's going to be the one who fires that shot? Is it going to be Nicole or Popeye?
Yeah.
Is Popeye so fucking desperate? I feel like he will carve through these people.
And Popeye goes... Man, what he does in that car, how fast he's driving and recklessly he's driving in that car just to stay with that train is insane. Is insanity from a policeman. He's putting so many people in danger. But he's like, he's got to get there. He's got to find this guy who shot at him.
I love it. He takes that guy's car. Police emergency. I need your car. And the guy's like, well, when can I get it back?
Yeah. Meet you back here in 10? Yeah.
What the fuck does...
Jesus.
I love that Friedkin had no permits to film in like a chase scene in New York City. So he just strapped a camera to his stunt car and drove that shit.
And just went for it.
Yeah. He was filming most of that because he didn't have a wife and kids. And all
So
the other
cool.
the cinematographer and the ADs, they did have families. So he's like, fuck it. I'll take this one. And they just... Hackman drove some of it, and the stunt guy drove some of it. But they drove through New York City with a camera on the back of the fucking car. You could never do that now. Like, 70s New York was a lawless fucking wasteland.
Yeah, it's like Mad Max. Oh my
Crazy.
Ah, jeez. So, Nicole obviously knows he's being chased, of course, and he literally moves his way through the carriages, and he shoots at like a policeman that's on board because he tries to intervene, and he's like, I don't give a shit, I'm surviving. And then he fucking, hijacks the conductor at gunpoint. He's like, all right, man, I'm going to tell you where we're going now. I'm a weird French guy. Nice to meet you. It's insanity. What's going through that conductor's head? Like, what the hell? I thought this was a normal Tuesday. Nope. It's insane. So they drive through the next station. They don't stop. And he shoots the train conductor. Nicole does. He's counting his body stacking up now. These innocent people, just because he's got this Popeye guy chasing him. It is insanity. The motorman passes out, and they're just about to slam into a stationary train when an emergency trackside brake engages, hurling the assassin against a glass window. Crazy scene. Because you're like, oh shit, that's like this guy who's like so arrogant and so confident about killing Popeye. And here he's, boom, flying out, in the subway. And he's like kind of powerless for a moment.
I love that. And we also saw this in New Jack City.
Oh, yes.
It's, there are certain movies that can only be filmed in New York because New York is a character all itself. And this movie really does that with the subway, like utilizing the subway and the crazy, streets of New York City and just the way it's laid out, the people. You couldn't do this in like Chicago. Like this movie works in New York because these are New York cops and this is a New York subway.
Yes.
And you believe it.
Yeah.
It works. I love
100%. 100%. It is, so convincing. It's awesome. And then this is like the climax for a lot of people where it's like on the poster and you have Popeye finally seeing Nicole because he's obviously off the train now because the train's fucked. And you see Nicole going up those stairs and you have Popeye behind him and he says, hey. And when he turns, he just shoots him in the back. It happens so abruptly, so suddenly. It's shocking. It's shocking to see from this kind of a movie, this big of a movie, this best picture winner. You go back and watch it now, and you're like, man, the balls in this film to do that, to do that. Like the here, and then fucking Popeye just kind of sits down on like the last stair and is like, oh, Jesus, what a day. Oh my God,
Yeah.
And I'm like exhausted at that point. And there's still a good amount of movie left, It's what a scene. That chase.
It's pretty
Those two
remarkable.
chases are brilliant. Probably my two favorite chases in any movie ever, and they happen to be in the same one. It's pretty amazing. So, Nicole's dead. Popeye got him. We all saw that coming, I think. At some point, we knew Popeye was going to get his.
Yeah.
He's just too resilient. So now, Popeye, has to go on a stakeout because he's still got work to do on this car, on our celebrity Devereaux's car. It's a Lincoln Continental, and he and his team they take it completely apart. This is what you were referring to earlier, the genius of hiding it in this car, and it's in that panel. This is a decently long scene where they're like really looking through the entire car, and you really feel it.
Yeah,
you feel Popeye, and he's got his cigarette, and he's got his hat on, and he takes off his jacket, and then he takes off his tie. And you like feel the hours adding up.
you're thinking like they're not gonna find
Like,
Dick.
holy shit, man. Like, Charnier's just a step ahead.
Yeah,
Like, he just put it somewhere completely different.
and he did, but
He did, but
Cloudy's too smart for him.
Cloudy is looking at some documents, and Cloudy says, what was the weight of the car? And they realize it's, it's like a full 20 pounds?
Like 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Like a significant amount.
Yeah, because it's 60 kilos. Yeah, there you go, yeah. And they're like, it's got to be in there, man.
I love the guy's like, well, I checked everything except this one part, and they're like, are you fucking kidding me?
And that's
Check that part.
And that's when, that's when we have Popeye. Come on, Irv. Irv like just opened up like a Coke can, and he's just ready to chill out. He's like, this car, like I looked through all of it for hours, and he's like, well, there's one little place. Come on, Irv, like this is a big fucking deal, man. We're talking about 60 kilos of heroin. This could ruin our city. What are you doing? They find it. Sure as hell. It's stuffed in there. Brilliant, perfectly, They open the panel and there's like a little bit of, there's like another material a little bit above it. And then they pull out, drugs.
So
And you're like, holy shit. You've been waiting to see that heroin. You've been waiting to see like the evidence, there it is.
Well, I love when Cloudy gives the guy's car back. Like, how the hell did they rebuild that car? They ripped that thing to shreds.
I love Roy Scheider right there is stellar. When he goes back in, he's just kind of trolling this celebrity, who's like really upset about how like, oh, we've gone this and that in this place. Don't you realize this is a very important, visitor to the United States? Like, fuck off, Get out of here. Charnier was saying the whole movie how he like needs money because he's not been able to have enough work, and he's the celebrity. It's so funny. That character cracks me up. Oh man. So the rocker panels are removed. They discover the heroin. The police restore the car. They give it back to Devereaux, who delivers the, Lincoln back to Charnier. Charnier drives to an old factory on Ward Island to meet Weinstock and deliver the drugs. Ha! What drugs? After Charnier has the rocker panels removed, Weinstock's chemist tests one of the bags and confirms its quality. Very, very high quality. Like, I think it's like, the percentage is something crazy.
It's like 89%.
89? Yeah.
Pure.
Yeah, this is like Heisenberg shit.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, if Heisenberg made heroin, this is the grade it would be.
Hell yeah. You're goddamn right.
Hell, I am the one who knocks. Charnier removes the drugs and then hides the money in the same place, concealing it beneath the rocker panels of another car purchased at an auction of junk cars. So he likes that spot. He likes those rocker panels, which he will take back to France with him. Charnier and Sal drive off in the Lincoln, but hit a roadblock with a large contingent of police led by Popeye.
I love
Hello?
that little wave of like, hey,
Hello. How are you doing?
fuck yes.
The police chase Lincoln back to the factory where Boca is killed during a shootout while most of the other criminals surrender. Hilarious. They're all like, oh, fuck. There's one guy, he's just like, he has just no chance. It's just funny watching, like, these guys, they're all, they think they're about to have the deal of their lives. Popeye's like, that's what I came here to do. But there's more work to do. A lot of more work to do. That doesn't quite get done.
Oh, yeah.
Charnier escapes into the warehouse. This is what we want. We're like, look, there's a building. Go in there so we can have another cool shootout or something. Obviously, here comes the climax. Popeye and Cloudy follow, of course, in pursuit. And Popeye sees a shadowy figure in the distance and just fucking opens fire.
All 6 shots.
No warning. And he fucking kills the Fed Mulderig.
Oof.
Undaunted, Popeye tells Cloudy that he will get Charnier. After reloading his gun, Popeye runs into another room, and a single gunshot is heard. Cloudy is now with him. Title cards note that Weinstock was indicted. The movie has ended. I still, when I watch it and these things pop up, the title cards telling you about, wait, what? Case dismissed for lack of proper evidence. Angie Boca received a suspended sentence for unspecified misdemeanor. Lou Boca received a reduced sentence. Devereaux served 4 years in a federal penitentiary for conspiracy, and Charnier was never caught. Popeye and Cloudy were transferred out of the narcotics division and reassigned. And you are left,
Fuck.
What? Did he shoot him? Did he get shot? What happened? So we get a second film. I won't say. I think we should maybe do it at some point on here. It is an interesting film. I don't think it's anywhere near the caliber of this movie, but it does have some good stuff in it. And you do see Charnier again, and you do see Popeye again. But
Better fucking.
this ending is so ballsy and so unsatisfying to so many people, including yourself.
Yeah.
So state your case.
It was. I thought I still had a whole bunch of movie left. I thought this was the beginning of the climax.
This could be a 3-hour film.
It could be, and I was really surprised it wasn't. But then, not only that, but nobody fucking wins. Like, the criminals all get like a suspended sentence or they get away, and Popeye and Cloudy are fucking reassigned. Like, everyone lost. And there's no victory here. And that's really infuriating. Extremely infuriating.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I kind of like that feeling.
Yeah.
Because it's so different. And I really like the ending as far as I don't know quite how I feel about the title cards and about that shot, but I fucking love Cloudy looking at him like, what are you doing? And he reloads his gun, and it's just this like it's so much about the journey and not the destination.
He's Ahab. Charnier is his white whale.
Yeah,
this is never gonna stop.
Yeah, exactly. That's really what the movie is about just two guys. They kind of need each other. It's kind of like the Joker and Batman. It's just like we kind of need each other to keep living our own lives, to like keep surviving, because we both like enjoy this so much. We don't really want to admit it, but we do. It's kind of fucked, but that's like what happens in a lot of cop movies. These cops like actually like.
Well, that's why Doyle's constantly, he's busting the bar. He gets off on this.
Yeah.
I think it's not about stopping the drugs from coming into the city. It's about the bust. It's about getting the bad guy.
And stopping another man from doing what he set out to do.
Yeah.
Illegally.
Killing somebody else's journey.
Yeah.
It's It's weird. He's no hero.
And in this case, killing a man who was trying to kill you, Nicole.
Yeah.
And then our man Sal Boca dies, like...
Dude, Popeye kills a Fed.
Yeah.
And that goes unpunished.
Kills like a Fed who worked with him. Mulder, this guy drank with him. This guy went on stakeouts with him. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
I bet that went down as a legend in the pre-same. I bet Cloudy helped Doyle cover that up. Said Charnay did it. But I think everybody kind of knew exactly what went down, but nobody would say
Popeye's loose cannon, yeah.
That's why he was reassigned a traffic or a desk job or something. But, whew.
Craziness.
Extremely, man. Jesus Christ. So, I give this film an 8. Solid cop drama with some great action sequences. And I know you...
Yeah, it's 10 for me. It's one of the films I've written a review for on the website. And it's in my Hall of 10s. There's only 8 of them in there or something. I just haven't written nearly enough reviews, but this is one of those I was like, we don't have one on there. I want one on there. I adore every single sequence of this movie. I adore every bit of dialogue. I think those 2 chase scenes are just the mecca of chase, the mecca of cat and mouse of I just don't see it. I just don't see it done well. I feel like it should be easier than it is. But then it, goes to show that it's not. It's not, and you said, this film is using a camera on an actual stunt car. It's just unheard of. Stuff you don't see.
That's what Friedkin was the master of. He set the standard for the cop drama and for the demonic possession movie.
I know. In 2 years.
In 2 years. That's fucking amazing.
So he's just so huge for my life. For my movie life because of that. I can't give him enough praise. Love that guy.
Oh, for sure.
Still alive, that guy. He's born in 1935. Still kicking it, still doing his thing, and awesome, 2 movies here that I will never forget. French Connection. I had it, I think, 3rd in my top 5 Best Picture wins of all time. It's one of those, it's one of those 70s movies that's one of the very first ones I think about when I think about the 70s. Yeah. French Connection's right there. I love it so much. I implore everyone to go watch it if you haven't. It's on Hulu right now. Easy access, not that long. It's 1 hour and 45 minutes, and it just doesn't fucking let up. It'll end before you know it, and the ending will be whoa, what? It's just one of those. It'll get a reaction out of you.
Yes.
I'm really glad you got to get around to it.
Yes, for sure.
Is it something you'll rewatch?
Probably.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a fun one to show to somebody, it's an epic movie. Just love it.
Killer, man. Well, that's all for today, listeners. Hope you enjoyed this week's Friedkin double feature. Don't know yet if we'll have something for you on Sunday, but if we don't, enjoy the Blair Witch Project next Wednesday. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.